Flashman, of course.
Everyone's favorite.
Everyone's favorite stage.
All right, good to hear. All right, the timers are off. We are going to Flash. So tell us a little bit about this stage, Sinister.
Well, you are certainly asking the right person. I have had a wide variety of experiences in this stage.
True, yeah.
Not all positive, but I think basically what these guys are trying to do is just minimize the damage that they're taking. And coolkid, as you can see, is at a slight disadvantage. He's taken 2 more damage than Fasta. There is some intentional damage in the stage you can't avoid, which is coming up in just a moment from this hopper. And but other than that, as long as they can manage their health totals, they're both going to be going for the damageless kill on Flashman, and they're both extremely consistent at it, and hopefully they're able to get it. If you don't, you're going to get flashed. You're going to lose, what is it, about 1.5 seconds, would you say?
Yeah, 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds, something like that.
Okay. So hopefully they'll be able to avoid that situation, but both of them with healthy life totals heading into the fight, which is definitely what you want to see.
Yeah, I don't see any of them, or I don't see either of them really dying to Flash in this kind of situation. Generally, you'll only die to Flash. Like, an experienced player will only die to Flash if they took an extra hit somewhere in the stage, and then the fight really goes haywire.
Right. And the fight can definitely get a little out of hand. If you miss one shot, these guys are on a very strict timing and rhythm, and both of them doing well. fastatcc took a hit there, so he still does get the backup kill, but coolkid takes a minor lead.
Yep. Yeah, he did take a hit. He didn't quite get underneath Flashman's jump near the left side of the arena there, and that's what you want to do for this strat.
So a small lead, not too meaningful at this early stage of the game. What you're really going to notice about Rockman 2 is that there tend to be big swings. The things that happen as you see, a death or something like that is going to be extremely costly, or a missed zip, or, heaven forbid, a soft lock. Things like that can really be the separators. But early on in this, with runners that are as consistent as these two are, you would expect it to really be the boss fights are going to cause separation, right?
I just noticed coolkid summoned the birds for us, which I don't believe he normally does. So
we're getting a treat.
Yeah, but these next 2 stages, in my humble opinion, are 2 of the most dangerous stages in a race setting for this game. And once they get past these next 2 stages, meaning Heatman and Airman, then they'll breathe a sigh of relief, and there aren't going to be too many opportunities for a huge time loss after that for a while. Maybe just the quick man soft lock. But they're both doing well in this stage so far. I think widened his lead a little bit.
fastatcc did miss the item 3 throw, so that's another 2 seconds. Hopefully they'll both get this first zip, and they both look good on that. We're coming up to Yoku blocks. That's kind of one of those dangerous areas that you talked about. This is a very rhythm-based section. Those blocks don't spawn on an actual timer. It kind of has to do with how far to the right you are. The further right you are, the sooner the blocks will spawn. Of course, the danger with that is that you can slip and slide on these blocks like they have ice physics. Both of our players getting through safely, though, so... Nice. Are they going to engage the flash strat? Looks like not. So that's something that I'd like to ask you about.
Yeah, fastatcc... actually, no, I don't think he's done the flash strat in previous races. I think he sticks with what he's comfortable with. Like, that's his philosophy, is if you haven't practiced a safe strat, then you just shouldn't do it. So, both of them sticking with Buster here. This makes this fight a little scarier, because you can only take 1 body shot. And then, when you take 1 body shot, you're just 1 hit away from death.
And both of them doing some nice buffer jumps there to make sure that... Heatman doesn't get too close for comfort. coolkid having a reasonable pattern here. He's had mostly 60s so far, and a few 30s. I think he has a slightly below average pattern there. fastatcc must be getting a good pattern, because it looks like he's right behind him now.
I think coolkid actually might have had a better pattern. He got a 408 kill, which for a race is quite good. And I think Fasta had a 413 kill.
413. Okay, so they probably got a similar pattern. Then I think coolkid had maybe about a 4-second lead going in. But like you mentioned, we're about to get into another dangerous stage here. Both of these guys have picked up their item 1, and they're going to be putting that to use very soon. An Airman stage. They're going to be taking on the dangerous open air section.
Yes, they're going to be using a bunch of item 1s to scale across the section that normally you'd have to kill all these Thunderlords and wait on their platforms, and they move very, very slowly. And you can save like 15 to 20 seconds by using item 1s expertly to cross it. So hopefully they both get through unscathed here.
Now, interesting is that, coolkid has really been on a crazy grind, and so he doesn't practice the quote-unquote granny strats quite as much, but I imagine that's what he's going to be going for here. So his comfort level is probably going to be a little bit lower. As you can see, he does take that intentional damage to get through, and he's got to clear one more jump here, and he does get that ledge, so he is through. fastatcc not far behind. He's got to get that ledge jump as well, and he is also good.
Awesome. We've got a race officially.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. You hate to see anybody die in that section, but it has certainly happened throughout the tournament. It always makes you a little uncomfortable going through that section, even if you are doing the easier strat.
Oh, yeah. All right, so they got to press on through the rest of the level here, and then they'll be coming up to the Airman boss fight, which is also fairly random. It's not quite as random as the Heatman boss fight that we just saw. But Airman has 5 different tornado patterns he can throw, and about 3 of them are not favorable. You don't really want to see them. There's one really good one, and then I think there's one there's one pattern that you can get lots of hits on, but it's very difficult to do it on. So we'll see what kind of luck they get.
And both of them really expert at executing no matter what pattern they get, especially coolkid, although that one you can really only get 3 shots in, and he gets 2 bad patterns right off the bat. Thankfully getting a good dodgeable pattern there at the end, so he is going to be able to take Airman down, but fastatcc maybe with a chance to gain some ground here.
Oh, I think he will for sure. Yeah, that was clearly a better fight. I think by 1 second or so.
Yeah, so that ought to put fastatcc within about a 5-second difference there. Next up, of course, they're both going to be going for Biggie, the trick that is named for coolkid himself. It is a very, very difficult trick, even though both of these guys are super, super consistent with it. You kind of get a little bit more nerves going in a race. We've seen both of these guys hit it plenty of times. We've seen him miss it a few times too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not making any predictions here.
I think they'll both get it.
I hope so. I certainly hope so.
I think these guys are on their game right now.
It's looking good. So far, so good. And this is what people wanted to see, man. This is a top-tier matchup, and both of these guys are living up to it so far. So coolkid up first. His placements look good. He just needs to get this trigger and jump, and he's got it. fastatcc, good placements.
Oh! He did not get the vertical wrap you need to do to get to the top of the screen he's currently on. So he's going to lose, I think it's about 10 seconds.
Yeah. I think it is about 10, barring any falls or other things from coolkid. So that's got to be slightly discouraging for Fasta. Hopefully he just continues on, though. He's been in enough races to know that early on doesn't mean a whole lot. This always ends up coming down to the wily stages because there can be big swings at the end. So he's going to... I think you'll see him maintain his focus and he can continue to play well despite that.
I think Fast is definitely a very experienced racer, and he's seen so many different situations, not only in this game, but plenty of other Mega Man games. And he will keep his cool and he'll keep playing solidly, but he also has to, he probably thought about when that error occurred that, oh man, I'm already off to probably an early deficit against coolkid, who is the top seed remaining in the tournament.
And coolkid we see going so fast that the speed police are on the case right now. Let's see if he can get this this Prizzy quick kill. And looks good. Yeah, he got it. Very nicely done there. So fastatcc still not too far behind. I mean, but catching up on execution alone at this point will be tricky. The gap has certainly widened to a point, and you wonder if these guys are screen watching. I know they've both taken different approaches throughout the tournament, but I didn't get to talk to them beforehand if they were going to or not.
coolkid did say that he typically does not screen watch unless he has a rough early game, and then he'll try to keep tabs, just knowing that he may be far behind or something.
So coolkid electing to skip that first one up, which most of our players that are left in the tournament at this point, if they're getting the one up, it's going to be the second one that doesn't lose as much time.
Yeah.
But he's got one of the tougher item 1 setups. I'm sure he'll make it look very, very easy right now.
This is a tricky one, though. He gets it, of course.
and gets the trigger as well. Lights are going to be staying on. Most of our players keep the lights on. It doesn't cost very much time at all. You just kind of have to do a quick turnaround, a couple frames, and coolkid does it tremendously fast.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, Fasta. He's got it too. Nice. That zip setup is unlike any other in the game. So I'd say that is one of the more common zip setups to mess up. It's not really in like a nerve-wracking part of the game, but it's unique, and just like there's a lot of space between the floor and the ceiling. Now they're going for the soft lock potential zip here.
Coolkid stopping plenty early there.
Yeah, I think you need to do 4 wiggles.
Yeah,
but that's what you want to do in a race. You want to be safe.
Yeah, I think Fast might take it a little bit more aggressively. I have a feeling that he knows he's behind right now. I mean, I don't think he's going to try to hit the door.
Oh, no. Oh, wow, he's skipping the zip entirely. So he misses the setup the first time, and then he just decides to go for the walk.
Yeah, I mean, this is a kind of a toss-up, because if you want to try to reset that zip up, it's a little bit tricky. And again, like you said earlier, he tends to stick with what's comfortable and what he's used to, so he probably doesn't try to set that zip up again, and he's not getting a favorable pattern from Quickman either, but he handles it well.
Yeah. Meanwhile, coolkid's onto Woodman. I think that fastatcc does metal before wood, so we'll see a slight route divergence here. But it'll sync up by Bubbleman.
I believe they both got the one up, so even if things go awry in the dog scrolls, which they are known to do, both of them can recover, and we do see coolkid does have that one up, so he's going to be setting up this first dog scroll here. A little bit of a low placement and getting some lag.
I'm personally holding out for the missing item 2 zip infinite from coolkid to give Fasta a chance to get back in the race. Because we haven't seen that yet, and I thought there's more people that are doing the item 2 zip than I thought there would be, and I'm just like, that thing is so hard, and you can so easily just loop failures on it. But it just has not happened yet in the tournament, which is surprising to me.
No, it hasn't. And coolkid really did have pretty excellent dog scrolls there. So, that just puts more pressure on Fasta. He is going to have to match coolkid step for step here, or he just has to stay in range of one big mistake. That's really the main task at this point, as we see coolkid finishing out wood there.
Exactly, yeah, because coolkid, his consistency is top level, or his both consistency and his level of execution. Like, if neither player is making mistakes, then almost for sure coolkid will maintain or widen his lead. So Fasta needs to play as well as he can, stay within striking distance, and hope coolkid has an error in the wily stages. Or dies in bubble. Like, we've seen coolkid die at the start of bubble occasionally as well.
Yeah, that's definitely happened. And wily stages, there's plenty of opportunities to die, and I think especially with coolkid not screen watching, he may not know, like, if he has a big lead and he's late in wily stages, he may still play a little dangerously, and that can end in a bad result. But for now, we'll have to see. He's in metal, which is one of the easier stages, although he does mess up the first sip a couple times.
Metal is the hardest stage, dude. Metal is the hardest stage, I'm telling you.
You're not the only person to say that. You're not the only person to say that. I'm starting to think there's some truth to it.
The stage lulls you into a sense of false security.
All right, no metal jail for coolkid. fastatcc did overzip the second screen of dog scrolls, so he is going to have to take the long walk. He's going to set up another mini zip to get past this third dog, and he does get there successfully. So, but that's about a 15-second time loss, and he's already behind. So this is getting into dire straits now.
Yeah.
But he did handle the backup very well, which is important. And looks like he's going to be able to finish out the rest of wood. Meanwhile, coolkid just cruising along. Let's see what kind of kill he gets here.
Oh, he does that tricky little turn back at the end of metal, because if you get too close to metal, metal will hop over your head to the left side of the arena and waste about a second. That was heads-up play.
So what kind of pace is coolkid on right here? Is he going to get a low 16? Is that what we're looking at?
He might be on pace for a very high 15 kill. I don't really think he's had many mistakes this run at all.
No, I mean a little bit that early game in metal, and
Oh, that's right, in metal, yeah. Yeah, that might have pushed him over to 16, very low 16 territory.
But even still, that is an insanely good 8 robots time if he does manage to get through the rest of bubble. Now, coolkid, of course, one of the few players that is going for that item 2 zip, and as you mentioned, that's something that you might just get yourself in a situation where you keep missing it. So
Yeah.
Fasta's hoping for that to come true right now.
Yeah, coolkid's gonna have to pull a me from HDQ 2014 here. That's to really, But he misses the first zip.
Okay.
Did he try an A trigger or did he B trigger?
I don't know what he's been doing lately, but
yeah.
I know he's
team B trigger though.
Yeah, I've seen him do both. I've definitely seen him do both. But here we go. Can he get the item 2 zip?
Oh, he missed it once. Missed it twice.
Oh,
missed
man.
It 3 times.
I think you might have put a curse on him.
All right. Missed it 4 times.
4 times. So that is a substantial time loss.
Yeah, that was probably 8 to 10 seconds right there.
Now, fastatcc got some unfortunate drops there, and his health is a little bit low here. He really can't afford to mess up the Bubble Man fight. I mean, he's in good shape. He can take one hit, but...
Yeah. He can take 1 bubble and 1 shot. So he should still be fine.
And coolkid get a 16-14 was the kill.
Okay.
So still really solid. I mean, you're still talking about a low 27 pace that he's on right now.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's see what kind of pattern Fasta gets. He gets a nice 1 bubble there. So nice. I've always wondered, is 1 bubble a little bit faster than 2 bubble?
I honestly, this is something I've been meaning to test. I should write it down, but I don't think there's a lag difference between 1 and 2 bubble. At least just eyeballing it. I prefer to get 1 bubble just because when you're going for the double KO, 1 bubble is easier, in my opinion, to get it on.
Okay. Makes sense. All right, so we're looking at about a little bit more than a 15-second difference here. Looks like
16 to 17 seconds.
So definitely something that fastatcc can come back from. There are a lot of bad things to happen in the Wily stages. Wily 1, we got a couple tricky zip setups. You can fall doing the second zip setup, which is about a 20-second time loss. So all kinds of stuff coolkid's got to watch out for here.
Yeah, I have definitely seen coolkid miss the open air second vertical wrap setup a decent amount in his attempts. I think he's going to play it more safely in this race, especially after chain failing the item 2 zip for a bit. He's got to not be feeling quite as comfortable as he was a couple stages ago.
Probably not. He did ace that very first setup though, and Fasta is struggling a little bit with that last item 2 placement. He's actually out of item 2. Coolkid, meanwhile, now struggling. He is going to have to skip this zip as far as I can tell.
Oh, wait, what happened to coolkid? Oh, did he miss the first vertical wrap?
Yeah, he got out of, well, no, he got out of position getting on the ladder, I think, and he fell back down and had to climb up again. And Fasta did not have a good setup. He had to redo his setup on the first zip. So both of them having some Wily 1 struggles, which is quite frankly to be expected. This is one of the tougher stages in the game.
Yeah, especially in a race setting, because these tricks are like do or die.
fastatcc does manage to get the second zip, so nice. It's tough to say if he actually caught up time on coolkid here because of his early struggles. I would say that he may have even lost a little bit of time, but we'll find out after this dragon kill.
Yeah.
It's like a 37 kill for coolkid.
Fasta's gonna have to remember that he doesn't have item 2 for that section after the item 1 zip in the coming stage, Wily 2. You usually use your last bit of item 2 to get over those crash bomb walls, so he has to remember.
Okay, so it looks like about a 20-second difference. So coolkid actually, despite his mistakes, extended his lead a little bit, and he's headed into Wily 2. So he's going to have to set up this first zip here, which is another dangerous one. We've seen a lot of players struggle here. Let's see if he can get it.
No, he just barely gets in there.
Barely.
Yeah.
Barely getting in there.
He was on the first pixel possible to actually get into the wall and not get pushed out.
So fastatcc wisely getting some extra item 1 after he had wasted some in the beginning of the first zip setup. He is now going to have to be, as you said, remembering that he does not have item 2 here. And he almost went too far.
Oh no!
Oh,
Oh man! You know,
that is a rough one.
I wonder if he practiced Prizzy's. Prizzy found a way to salvage that situation where you get a little bit out of the wall to the left. But I don't know if Fasta was able to really practice it. But that would have come really in handy during that situation. Oh, and now he's tilted for sure.
Oh, and we have seen this before. This is very unfortunate. When you miss that zip the first time, it just really shakes your confidence.
Yeah.
Now he's able to skip it. He can use item 2, although I'm curious. I feel like he might just go item 1 again just to see if he can get his comfort level back, but let's find out.
No, he does item 2. Okay.
He's going 2. He's going 2. So yeah, this Wily 2 is no joke, man. Any of these Wily stages, I mean, probably besides 3. But even 3,
we've seen deaths in 3.
Even 3 can get you. But yeah, you're looking at 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6 have varied ways of ending your run or darn near ending it. So now Cool Kid's lead is pretty enormous. He's gonna have to make some major fails in Wily 4, 5, and 6 for Fasta to have a chance.
Yeah,
so we've seen it happen.
We for sure have seen it happen. I wonder if Cool Kid is totally unaware of what the lead situation is. Because if he's not aware, then I think that opens a very slight window of opportunity for Fasta.
I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, if he's not paying attention and he just keeps going super aggressive. But I think that's kind of his style anyway, man. It's very rare that I've ever seen Cool Kid back off of anything.
Yeah, I don't think he would even skip the Wily 6 zip. If he knew he was like 30 plus seconds ahead, I think he would still do it.
Yeah, he'd probably still go for it. And he does not kill any of the fish. How do you feel about that?
I wasn't even watching Cool Kid screen when he was going through the fish section, so I have no comment. No comment.
Well, he is a sympathetic to the fish apparently.
I'm so glad I found that on the Mega Man wiki. I'm so glad I found that, even though it killed your godly Mega Man 2 name.
It was worth it. It was worth it. It was worth it. When I first saw you do that, I was like, oh, this is great. This is fantastic. So Cool Kid looks like he's almost a full stage ahead of fastatcc. So the things that we're looking for now, Cool Kid, because he has the extra life, he's not in a danger for a game over situation. So really, the situation that Fasta is hoping for is that Cool Kid gets into the beam room and then has things go terribly, terribly wrong. That would be the best case for Fasta at this point.
Yeah, I think even soft locking in Wily 6 would not be enough to overcome this for Fasta.
Yeah, it's strange. The Wily 6 errors aren't quite as time costing as you would think. It's really Wily 4. It definitely has the biggest punishments. Along with Wily, I mean, if you die to Wily Machine in refights, then that's going to be like a 2-minute time loss as well.
If you game over.
Yeah, if you game over. But since he has the extra life, he's not at risk for that.
Right. This looks like a pretty clean Wily 4 from Cool Kid so far.
Yeah, gets the first vertical wrap there. See if he can get a nice tunnel zip here. Looks good.
I wonder if he's gonna bust out the surprise Spike Screen 2 zip for us.
Oh man, that would be something pretty epic.
That would be legendary, but no, he's not going to.
He's saving that for game 3, I think.
Yeah, there you go.
So Cool Kid, Mr. Consistency here. I mean, there is still the delay scroll that could happen.
Oh, that's true.
Delay scroll would put Fasta right back in it.
Nope.
But didn't happen. So, for those of you that are wondering, delay scroll is just you'll basically die in that screen transition that Cool Kid just passed. And we don't have a really great explanation for why, but it just happens.
Oh, well.
What a recovery. And he has extra items.
Oh my, how does he do that? Every time
you know what?
He doesn't turn around and he still gets it.
Yeah, he like taps the left so lightly that sometimes it just doesn't even register.
Yeah,
and then he's able to trigger it again. It's
I
just
know.
not fair.
Ordinarily, once you like fail that trigger once, like you're not gonna get, even if you're still able to do it, like you're just like off your script and you're not gonna get it at that point. But he somehow, even when he doesn't turn left, he still gets it. But that was a beautiful booby room.
He's Cool Kid. He's Cool Kid. And he's on a heck of a pace here. We're looking at definitely if he's able to execute the rest of this as he has been so far. This is going to be sub 27:30, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's looking like 2x pace, 27 2x.
So Cool Kid gonna take Quick Man first. There is, of course, a couple routes that you can take. You, of course, do the air first. What would you say is kind of the advantage of that, other than if you get a lucky 1-round air? Can you still get an advantage if you don't?
Well, it's not only the lucky 1-round air. I think that like you can more often get a 2-cycle air even off like a medium pattern. Because you have the option of getting some buster shots in at the start, but you can always switch to Leaf Shield at any time. But that's the advantage is really on the airman fight. In fact, the route, in terms of the teleporter screen movement, it wastes 20 frames. But obviously the 1-cycle air is a big enough gain that it's worth it.
And Cool Kid, speaking of air, getting not the greatest air pattern. That second one where he gets the close body one there. And it'll be interesting to see if Cool Kid takes any health here, because he's... As much as he's in fine shape to finish the stage, there's really no reason for him to not pick up at least 1 health drop, in my opinion.
I think that he said during his practice earlier that he would never go in with like only being able to take 1 shot from the machine, but if he has the health to take 1 shot, then he'd probably be fine doing that.
Well, he can take a shot right now, so it looks like he's probably not going to get health. And I think at this point, yeah, he's safe. Yeah. He's probably good to go. I think he might even be able to take 2 shots from machine, and he does have enough clash bombs as well, so it's not like he has to worry about that.
I think he would die if he took 2 shots, but I can't quite...
it's hard to tell.
18. I don't know. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it's tough to see on this, but either way, he's probably going to be fine unless he places one of these bombs too high. He gets the first one. Second one looks good. Great job there by Cool Kid. So yeah. He looks like, well, now it's probably going to be a 3x.
Yeah. The quickest Wily 6 is generally 53 seconds, and his split there was 26:37. So he might get 26:30 on the dot.
So Fasta not completely out of this yet. He is in refights, so he's going to have to hope that Cool Kid, the best situation for him is that Cool Kid would die on the alien, because then he would have to take a forced game over, and that would basically put Fasta in front. So over-zipping here really probably not going to change anything.
Yeah.
I don't think that would make a difference. But,
and of course he gets amazing wiggles.
So
and of course he went for the zip, like, period.
Yeah, no, he didn't even hesitate.
I honestly can't remember the last time I've seen Cool Kid die on the alien here, so... I don't know. I think Fasta is stealing himself for game 2. If he knows what the situation is.
It does look that way.
And there it is.
There's a great kill, and I think we'll have it looked like a 27:32 official. The SRL time is going to be 27:34, so a really nice mid-27 for Cool Kid. That's about as consistent as you want to be. You're going to win a lot of races with a mid-27.
Yeah, though that time is not guaranteed to win races.
Not guaranteed, but
at this stage of the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, Fasta could definitely have pulled out a lower time, no question about it. And he's going to finish, after taking the game over that he took, I believe, is at least 45 seconds. Mm-hmm. So if we subtract that from whatever his final time is, we'll get a more realistic look at what he could have gotten. But yeah, he's going to have to kind of get prepared for game 2 here. But this isn't the first time that fastatcc has been 1 game away from elimination. He did come back in his last match to make it into this match against Cool Kid. So he may play better with his back against the wall. I mean, the guy got a 27 live. He got the fastest time that anyone's gotten live, I think by 1 second or something, right?
Yeah, he did get that time, but actually, was do you know Retrothon, was that an in-person marathon or an online marathon? Because
I believe that was an online marathon. Okay. Was there a lower time in that?
Yeah, Cool Kid got a 27:10 during that marathon.
Oh my. Yeah, I believe that was an online-only marathon. So I think there is a difference. Playing live can be a little more nerve-wracking. You got the crowd behind you. Some more distractions. You're not playing on your home setup, but...
Yeah, for sure.
fastatcc finishing it out there, so he does finish the run, which I think is good mentally. I've definitely seen people just totally come off the rails when they have like the 1 game over, and they're just like, all right, I'm done, and it's just like forfeit. Which it can be good or bad. I mean, sometimes that's just like, hey, I'm ready to play the next game, and other times it's like, oh, I'm getting really frustrated with Rockman 2.
Yeah, me personally, I'm just ready to move on to the next game when something like that happens.
Yeah.
But hopefully Fasta, avoids some of the mistakes he had during this race. I think The Wily 2-zip that he game overed on is one of those tricks that he has had a history of having trouble with. So
It's true.
I would like to see him get the backup energy in that stage and trigger that zip. But we haven't really seen many people go for that energy in Wily 2.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true, and it confuses me because I think it's one that you're losing maybe 3 seconds tops to get it, and in most situations, like, it really helps you out. It protects you against so many things that can go bad later on. Like Cool Kid, he had the extra item 1, and when he missed the zip setup in Wily 4, he was just ready to set it up again, and he still had enough to zip in Wily 6. So he was ready to go.
Yeah, I wonder how he had enough for the Wily 6 zip.
He did take intentional damage in the first spike screen of Wily 4. So
and he didn't use any additional item 1s in Wily 1, I assume.
I'm guessing not. I think I didn't see exactly what happened, but I think he maybe only placed 2 item 1s in the first initial climb for the second zip, and then he fell. So I think he saved an item 1 there, and that's why he had the extras. But he knew the situation. I mean, he knew the situation. He was ready to go with it, and he just handled it like a pro. So good game for these guys. We have our race recorded.
Solid.
Yeah,
Cool Kid.
So Cool Kid has been on kind of a streak here because in his last match, oh boy, and Cool Kid putting up number 1. He is talking a little trash and trying to get in fastatcc's head. You got to hope that Fasta is not watching there. He's not looking at Cool Kid. Cool Kid probably knows. He's like, oh, you're screen watching? Guess what, buddy? I'm number 1. So yeah, but it looks like they have gotten the second game ready to go. Won't be too long until we get it going. But you know what they say, Cypher, pride goeth before a fall. So is that going to be the case for Cool Kid here?
I don't know. We'll just have to see. I think that he had some rough games early in the tournament, but I think that there were extenuating circumstances at that time. And since then, we've seen nothing but solid play from him.
You're right. Yeah, I think he was sick a little earlier on when he got some of those bad times. His last match, he busted out consecutive 27 10s or something like that.
Yeah, 27 OXs, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so he's hitting a mid-27 here. He's really in stride. He's been just as consistent as you could want to be. fastatcc trying to get just a little bit more of a comfort level with that Flashman kill after he missed it the first time. And I got to tell you, that one is a nightmare. When your muscle memory gets just a little bit off in this fight, I swear it's impossible to get back to where you want it to be.
Yeah, it's very finicky. You'll just randomly lose that good muscle memory without any warning. And then, you're kind of trying to just power through this fight when you're doing attempts and you're just, messing it up half the time. And then the next day, it's all fixed. It's all fine. It's really weird.
Yeah, it makes no sense whatsoever. Right now, you can see Fasta has completely lost it. So we're going to see how much time he wants to kind of take and get this feel, because I've been in this exact spot where I'm trying to practice this right before the race, and there he gets it.
Good there.
Okay, so hopefully he gets it one more time, and then maybe he's going to feel mentally ready to go. Okay. That was solid. That was solid enough. Okay. Fasta has regrouped. 3 in a row is not enough for him. He's going for number 4. Do you think he's going to pull the Prizzy special and go for 10 in a row?
Maybe, honestly. Maybe. Putting that bit of self-induced pressure on himself for the race.
Yeah, he's getting ready, man. Looks like Cool Kid is trying to get another message across to us. I saw an L, an H, an E. I don't know if I saw all the letters. Y.
I wasn't looking at the earlier ones.
I missed the earlier letters, man. What is he spelling out here? Cool Kid is trying to send a message. All right, we got that.
One funny thing I want to note is that earlier in his stream today, Cool Kid was preparing for this tournament match by playing some Mega Man 2 randomizer.
I noticed that as well, and clearly it hasn't had an impact on his game. Even though I mean, are the physics any different at all in the randomizer version, or is it pretty much the exact same physics?
I think the physics are always the same, but the items may behave a little differently. Like item 1 sometimes doesn't rise at all. Sometimes it rises more slowly, but it's not that big of a deal.
Okay, all right. So either way, you can see it clearly did not take him off of his game. And yeah, maybe fastatcc is also like, hey, well, guess what, cool kid, you're gonna have to wait a little bit, man. I'm cool kid has said, hey, I'm ready whenever, and fastatcc is taking some time. So I think, between the number 1 from cool kid and fastatcc taking his time, we may have some mind games going on between our 2 runners here, trying to get a little edge.
I think Fasta just really wants to make sure he doesn't pull you in this game.
It's a good idea. Yeah, you definitely don't want to pull a me on Flash, man. That is for sure. That's pretty much about the worst thing you can do. But strangely enough, in game 1, when I did pull that against Fasta, I was able to come back because specifically of that Wily 2 error that he made.
That's right. Yeah, that was a really good race.
Yeah, that was kind of a crazy race. So yeah, Fasta hopefully getting that comfort level back. I'm wondering if he's also going to practice Biggie, because he did miss Biggie, and he may want to kind of get that. Or do you think he just missed? Isn't there like one dead frame where if you jump trigger on that frame, that just doesn't work?
Yeah, I do think he got dead framed. I think I saw him rise up a little bit and then get pushed back down, which is the indicator for getting dead framed. So that was just unfortunate luck for him, because sometimes the dead frame is not even there. I think it depends on the exact frame that you trigger that zip, but sometimes there just isn't a dead frame. So not only do you have to have the dead frame there, you have to hit the one frame that the dead frame is on.
Right. So that was maybe some unfortunate luck there for fastatcc. And looks like our runners are finally confirming here that they are ready to go. We're getting the word from Speed Gaming. They said go for it. So we're about to be off with game number 2 here in just a few moments.
I feel vindicated, by the way, that Cool Kid missed item 2 zip 4 times in a row. I feel vindicated.
You just had to see that happen to somebody once.
I had to see it happen to someone. Frizzy or Cool Kid, one of those 2 guys. I had to see it.
Yeah, nobody had been paying the price for it. They've all been too consistent with that trick, but that is one of the toughest tricks in the game.
Yeah. It's sort of frame perfect. It's sometimes not frame perfect. But, well, actually, the version Cool Kid does isn't frame perfect, but there's more steps involved in doing the trick than doing the other version that you can do.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, the pixel window is the same regardless, right? It's about a 2-pixel window for placing the item 2 correctly.
Yeah, the way Cool Kid does it, you have a 2-pixel window.
Okay.
All right, we are off game 2. Cool Kid with 1 game win already.
He's ready to move on to the top 4. Where he would be facing, I believe, the winner of Endy and Zoda, which we don't know when their match is going to be yet, but have either of them been practicing is the question, or are they going with the no practice strat?
In fact, they're both defiantly not practicing.
They are in what we have been calling the slacker bracket, although Cool Kid and fastatcc not quite slacking as hard as some of the other folks. fastatcc taking a little bit of extra damage there.
Yeah,
so,
he got hit by that shot man at the end of screen 1, which will get you sometimes.
So this is a situation where he really needs to not mess up this tin can here. If he takes this damage, that's going to be putting him in kind of a dangerous spot, but he is able to clear it, so he's okay. And Cool Kid just kind of breezing through the stage, not having much trouble at all.
Yeah, just commenting again on the slacker thing, I think actually Fasta and Cool Kid have been the 2 most hard-working people that are still remaining in this tournament. So it's quite a contrast from what we got in the other bracket. Yeah, they've definitely been putting in work.
Prizzy has no doubt been putting in some serious work as well. He took breaks for a few other Game Boy Mega Man games, but when he came back to Rockman 2, he came back hard, and he has achieved that 26 level time.
Oh, Cool Kid just barely missed getting flashed and losing about 2 seconds. You see those sparkles on his screen.
Looks like the practice paid off for Fasta, because he got a good kill. So Fasta not losing too much time there, and we once again have a race headed into Heatman. Let's hope that we don't get too much separation early on. I think things were pretty tight in the last game until we had Fasta miss Biggie, and that was kind of the big separator.
Yep. So I'm expecting both players to not really deviate in their strats at all from the first game. We've seen in a couple matches people do different strats between different races in a single match, but I think both of these guys know what their game plan is and they're just going to stick to it.
I would agree. I think if anybody has more reason to go for the flash strat in this, it's Fasta. He did have one death on Heatman in the tournament. It didn't cost him the match, but that still does kind of stick with you. So I think, but instead of doing the flash strat, I believe what we'll see is that if he does get hit by Heatman, he'll probably just play the rest of the fight safely.
Yeah. Actually, no, we saw him in a previous game get hit and still do the wiggle jumps. I think that was the game that he died to Heat versus you. So
right, no, that's what I'm saying. So he died that time, so he'll probably play it safe moving forward is what I'm thinking.
I'm not sure, man. I think that he's really a believer in sticking to game plan, because he mentioned to me that once, if he takes a hit, then he feels like if he tried to safe out Heatman after that, he would just get messed up and get hit anyway, even though he's staying far away from him.
All right, that's fair. Well, hopefully we don't find out. We'd like to see both of these guys have solid fights here. Of course, you're doing those small buffer jumps to anticipate his delays, which can be either 30, 60, or 90 frames between each of his attacks. You want to see as many 30s as possible, which I feel is also the easiest delay to kind of mitigate, because you're having to just do one jump.
Well, we shall see. I think they've got about a 1 second difference starting this fight. Coolkid having so there was a 90, 60, 30. Oh no, Fasta! Oh my goodness.
Not the jinx. Please tell me it didn't happen. It happened. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's got to be a real downer for him.
That is rough stuff. Well, that's exactly what we were talking about, guys, is, you take that one hit and then how do you respond? I actually was not paying attention to his screen, so I didn't see.
I wasn't either,
happened.
And then I just suddenly saw an explosion. I was like, oh, there's no way Heatman died already. And I was like, oh, Fasta. Why?
Brutal. This is such a brutal game. So Heatman hits really hard. His body damage is it what, 10 damage or something?
It's 8 or 10. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's 8.
It's quite a bit. So Fasta putting himself a little bit behind the 8 ball, but by the same token, I feel like that sometimes when you have a death like this, it kind of helps you relax a little bit, because you've kind of resigned yourself to, I'm probably not going to win this. So then you just kind of go all out, and you really can end up playing great from this point onward. So let's hope that happens for fastatcc. Meanwhile, coolkid, he's not out of the woods yet. He's got to get through this open air section again. If he were to take a death, then Fasta would be in the lead again.
All right, he's doing those jumps. And he makes it.
All right, he's clear. So now even more pressure on fastatcc. He's got to follow suit here. Definitely cannot afford to take the open air death. That would just put him really, really far out of range.
Yeah, this is still a difference that could be made up if coolkid had an uncharacteristically sloppy rest of the race.
And
but another death would be really killer, for sure.
Fasta recovering nicely there. He kind of got out of rhythm there, took a couple hits in the wrong way that you don't want to have happen, but he did manage to recover. So great job there by him surviving. He is keeping himself alive in this tournament.
Let's see what kind of luck coolkid gets on air this time around, because last race he had a very, very unlucky air fight, and he got all patterns that block your shots or get you hit very easily. Oh, he starts off with the same pattern he started the last race off on.
Then gets a legacy pattern, but look how well he handled that legacy pattern. So he's actually still going to get not the worst kill ever. I mean, he's still got a left side kill, but he got 4 shots in on the legacy pattern, which is pretty darn tough to do. You got to really weave those shots in between a lot of tornadoes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, hopefully fastatcc will get some good luck. He does get a good pattern there, so he should be able to get a right side kill or just one jump, and there it is.
There it is. Those are actually almost the exact same kills from both racers, respectively, between Game 1 and Game 2.
You're right.
Yeah, because Fasta got the kill when Airman just barely jumps in both games, and Cool Kid got a left side kill both games.
So we had somebody in chat asking, what is Legacy pattern? I believe it's called that because in the Mega Man Legacy collection, that's the pattern that you get. Is that your understanding as well?
Yeah, I think if you're doing the boss rush, you are like guaranteed to get that pattern from him. At least first pattern. I never played that release, so I don't know the specifics.
Same here. Well, Cool Kid nailing Biggie once again, so he's not giving up any ground. Pressure's going to be back on Fasta. He might be thinking right now about, oh, I did not practice this after Game 1. Let's see if he can manage it. That item 1 placement was a little bit low. Okay, it worked.
He gets it.
He's in there.
Nice.
That was a little bit concerning there. That item 1 placement was probably the lowest he could have got away with that first one.
Mm-hmm. Well, keeping the dream alive nonetheless. This is what you gotta do. You just gotta stay within striking range.
Yeah, keep fighting. And we know that Fasta's going to do that. He is a competitor for sure. Of course, he is the Mega Man 3 world record holder, Cool Kid being the Mega Man 1 world record holder, and you, of course, being the world record holder in this game. So we've got the all-star cast going on right now. Me, I'm a scrub in every game, so I don't know why I'm here. But anyways, we're having an interesting race here. Looks like fastatcc has definitely been keeping it going strong. He's getting some nice item 3 drops there as Cool Kid manages to finish off Clash Man.
Sinister, in my book, you are the commentator champion.
Oh, awesome, man! All right, yeah. I appreciate that.
So we have 4 champions.
We have the four champs. All right, so yeah, Cool Kid just really on a blistering pace once again. This is kind of absurd, actually, that he's getting on these paces.
I mean, this is par for the course for Cool Kid. Like, he's probably the most consistent at getting paces to the mid game of anyone. Even me. I think Cool Kid gets more paces to the mid game than I do.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch, but if I'm not mistaken, the last compilation video we saw of Cool Kid, he did have a lot of struggles in Quick Man.
That is very true. So, Prizzy's been making these compilations of bloopers from when Rockman 2 runners have been failing their attempts, and Cool Kid's latest one, but like going from 2648 PB to 2644 PB, was about 34 minutes long, and I think about a third of it, maybe a half of it, was all Quick Man fails.
Yeah, it was. I mean, granted, he's probably being slightly more aggressive in his PB attempts with Quick Man than he is now, but nonetheless, as he picks up the 1-up. Now, this time it's interesting. I don't know if Fasta did this in the Game 1, but he picked up the first 1-up in the stage. Did you notice if he did that in Game 1?
I don't think he did that in Game 1, but I'm not sure if I caught him picking up the 1-up.
Oh, and Cool Kid with a 2-tile wiggle there. Had he been 1 tile closer, that would have been a soft lock, but he just hits the door just perfectly. 2-tile wiggle, no problem.
Personally, even if I'm 2 tiles away and I do a 2-tile wiggle into the door, that worries me a lot, because it just means that my wiggle game is not on point, and it could come back to bite me later on.
Yeah, you'll be thinking about that one in Wily 4 and maybe in Wily 6.
And again, Fast admits that.
Oh no!
Zip setup. Oh,
and
man.
that time he thought about going again and resetting it, but then it looks like he just decided against it, and he kept on. So, all right, well, another dangerous stage coming up here. Woodman. This is definitely one where Cool Kid could lose a little time unless he has dog scrolls like he had last time, which were just really ridiculous. So let's see how he's going to do here.
He does go to item 1. Good setup.
Oh, a little bit of a tough spot there. He's
I think he zipped past. Oh, wow.
No,
wow. So once you're above the screen, you can't see Mega Man, and you haven't really hit the screen boundary in screen 1. It's really tough to salvage that situation, because you have no idea where you are. You don't know if you've zipped past the screen boundary or if you're still struggling to get to the screen boundary. But
Yeah,
it does make it easier.
That is a tricky situation, and I think what he actually does sometimes is he'll go for the non-jump wiggles, which are a little bit tougher, but you can play them. You can play them kind of tight, and he got through. I mean, he managed it.
Fast is struggling with the 0.5 second time save zip, which I always think is silly.
Yeah, I would agree. Even though I went for it, but you know, I did get it every single time. But it is one that you can mess up easily and then you lose time. So it's not the smartest idea to go for it in a tournament. I would absolutely agree with you. I just felt like, for me personally, I knew that I would mess up doing the non-zip strat more than I messed up doing the zip strat. So I was like, all right, well,
that's fair.
I have to go with what's more consistent.
The thing that'll snag some players not going for the zip there is if you menu where you ordinarily would when going for the zip, you'll get extra lag because there will be an extra clown or cog on screen, and that might throw people off, and then they'll mess up the item 2 placement.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's probably what was getting me there. So yeah, Cool Kid, I mean, he didn't have the greatest wood ever, but he certainly had one that was good enough to maintain a strong lead. And once again, missing that left button press, you could see he had to B-trigger twice there.
Yeah, I wonder if he's, you know, that controller he's been using for this game, something's going on with it.
He just does such a light tap. Like, it's the lightest, you know, it's almost like that Mega Man 1 muscle memory kicking in of, like, not wanting to press the direction for more than one frame, right?
Yeah, well, you do actually not want to press left for longer than you have to, because if you pressing, like, holding left will delay the zip actually going off, so you do actually want to tap it. But,
okay, that makes sense.
You know, that can very easily lead to nasty things happening.
Very true. So fastatcc actually had a pretty solid set of dog scrolls there. So he'll pick up a little bit of time, but you're going to see, of course, these guys are going to sync up once again in bubble, and Cool Kid still having a pretty strong lead at this point, but oh no, Fasta needs to pause again. Oh boy,
no, I think
he needs to grab this ladder.
He gets it.
He barely got it.
That was almost, well, that was scary, but if he had not grabbed that ladder in time, then he would have had to intentionally die. And I think he probably would have gone for the big zip setup again, but that would have been ugly.
That would have been rough stuff. But Fasta manages to save it. So he kind of killed his time savings there. So now it's, again, he's in that situation where he needs to hope that Cool Kid has an issue. And, you know, if he dies to the frogs, which looks like he's going to clear them, item 2 zip predictions, get him in now. I'm going to predict Cool Kid gets it first try. That's my prediction.
I also think he'll get it first try.
Okay.
He had his bad item 2 zip moment in the previous race. I don't think he's going to fail the first try in 2 consecutive races.
Chat, let us know. Let us know what number, how many tries is it going to take Cool Kid to get this item 2 zip coming up. Deucler, not a lot of faith in Cool Kid. It's going with third try.
He was on Team B trigger for that item 1 zip, which means he somehow messed it up in the first race. I'm very interested to find out how that happens. And he does get a first try.
First try. All right, we're both right. We both win the prize. Well done.
We win the prize to continue commentating the match.
All right, so Cool Kid, again, on quite a stellar pace here. He will probably get a kill right around 16 minutes.
Actually, it's going to be sub 16.
Yeah, looks like it.
15:58.
Yeah.
That is blazing.
Yeah, you're not going to see too many of those in this tournament. If any, I'm sure you had a couple, but yeah, there have not been too many 15x kills.
Mm-hmm. I think someone mentioned in chat that, like, around the middle of the Robot Masters, he was 5 seconds behind his PB, and he's been playing pretty well since then too. I think he had, like, basically the biggest mistake was that Woodman dog screen 1. Yeah,
I can't think of too much else. He's really been on point. He didn't have the greatest luck on Airman. I mean, that lost him some time, but nothing he can do about that.
Well, we'll see if he can keep it up and maybe even get his first race 26 in this tournament. because this is definitely capable of getting it.
We could see it. So fastatcc still, he's staying in range. He's under 17 minutes when he gets out of bubble, so nothing's over yet.
I think there's about a 40-second difference between the two players, so that's definitely 40 seconds is the size of some Wily stage mistakes.
And coolkid with another great setup there. He's just so skilled at that first setup. He gets it really quickly, and the item ones are placed just where you want them. Let's see if he's able to get this second setup that he missed out on in the first game.
Oh, he falls there.
Falling
so
again.
There's actually something very tricky about the top of that ladder, and I believe this is random, but sometimes you can walk a little bit to the left and not drop off, and other times, if you take one step to the left, you will immediately drop, and you have like no pixels of room. And I think that he dropped off immediately. So, unfortunate time loss for him, but that does give Fasta some more breathing room, but unfortunately he misses the setup on the first vertical wrap.
He had such a good setup, but he was just 1 pixel too far to the left. You have to be under that ceiling, but you can't be too far left or you get pushed out in the wrong direction, and unfortunately, he was just off target.
This stage is so brutal in races, because both of the big tricks in this stage are such big, like, you get it or you don't, and if you don't get it, it's such a big time loss.
It really is. So thankfully Fasta does get the second zip there. So I think, again, they're probably keeping pace because coolkid, he had the fall. Yeah. So that's pretty equivalent, but that's one where you would have hoped to see Fasta kind of gain some time back.
This race is very eerily similar to our first race. Like, it's actually scary how similar it is in terms of like the mistakes that have happened to both players. Especially
it really
Fasta.
is.
Hopefully he has a smooth Wily too this time.
Let's hope so. coolkid did pick up the extra item 1 energy, which he needed, so good thing that he remembered that, and his setup looks good.
Nice.
Trigger is good. So coolkid in the safety zone for pretty much until you get to Wily 4. Usually, like, I feel like once you get that zip at the beginning of Wily 2, you usually kind of breathe a sigh of relief, like, okay, I don't have to worry about anything for a while. Nothing too crazy is going to happen.
Let's see how this drops hallway goes for him, though. Oh, he does get a big drop right at the start, and he gets another small drop.
So fastatcc elected not to go for the item 1 refill, which he knows he's behind, so you have to expect that. This is the moment of truth, though. He gets in. Can he get this trigger? He got it.
There, he gets it. Nice. History does not repeat itself in this case.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. That is a 4-frame trick for those of you that are uninitiated to the A trigger zip. The B triggers are much easier. I believe you have about a 15-frame window to do those. Is that right?
I never frame counted the B trigger window, but it's probably around there. Yeah,
it's big. Yeah, it's pretty free. So,
yeah, for speedrunners, 15 frames is like you'll only miss that one in 1,000 times normally.
Right. Yeah, missing a B trigger does not happen very often. The only time you see it happen more frequently, what I would say, is maybe in the first screen of dog scrolls, because there can be lag involved. But even then, it's still such a small percentage. So
yeah. And when people do miss B triggers, which I think happened to coolkid in his first race, it's because they didn't actually press the left arrow because they were trying to hit it so lightly. That's usually what happens.
All right, well, coolkid gonna get another chance to kill a fish, potentially. Let's see if he goes for it this time.
I don't think he's going to show us what we want here.
Oh man, he's depriving us. Come on, coolkid.
The chat wants to see 2 fishies alive and well. I think we have different desires here.
Different opinions on what should happen. Save the animals versus kill the animals.
Oh, first fish does not spawn. No fish for coolkid.
No fish. Sorry,
Denied.
chat. I'm afraid Saba Ping has not paid us a visit today.
We'll see what happens with fastest screen. Are we going to have the first race with no fishes for both racers?
Oh man, that would be something.
Yeah, I feel like I've not seen that in the tournament yet. I
think chat might riot if that were the case.
Oh, man.
The dream is dead. So strangely enough, those fish do cause a very, very small amount of lag. Not something that'll be probably consequential in this race, but it's nice to see at least this time. You know, fastatcc, he is still kind of in the same stage, so I think the lead is a little bit. It's still surmountable. I think somebody in chat was looking at it, said it was about 40 seconds.
Yeah.
So that's most of the mistakes in Wily 4 that are not like the small mistakes in the climb are going to be 40 seconds or more. So we're looking at one mistake difference here.
So Coolkid does start out in Wily 4, and the first part of the stage shouldn't be too bad for him, even if he has some mistakes with these item 3 throws. He's not. So what he really needs to be cautious about is the second half of the stage, because that's where all the big, like, huge time-wasting mistakes lie.
They do, and that's where the potential for delay scroll is as well. Over zipping the boss door, that's something we've seen happen in the tournament. We've seen people under zip the ejection in the boss room. We've seen people miss doubles on crash bombs. I mean, there's all kinds of bad things that can happen. So Coolkid really just, you know, he has to guard against that stuff because fastatcc isn't too far behind.
Well, he's halfway through the spike screens. See if he can get through the last two. Fasta looks like he's having... Oh, just as I say that, he misses the vertical wrap.
And I think he had missed that in game 1 as well. It does get that mini zip backup, but...
you know, he was missing that. He was missing that in his attempts last night, too. And he had commented very pointedly about it, that he was missing that just for no good reason.
Happens to the best of us. Coolkid with a good ejection and the first double, so he's in fine shape to take down this fight. The only thing that could really go wrong for him is if he misses the second double, he's going to be short 1 crash bomb.
No, he gets it fine.
He's good. So Coolkid again he's on a low 27 pace. I think this time he's on a faster pace than he was on last game.
Yeah, I think so. I think this will be probably, if he maintains this through the end of the game, it might be like a 1x, 27 1x.
The consistency has really been unbelievable by Coolkid just these last 4 games. And Fasta
crash.
Crashing the door. He's got no fear, man. He's playing to win. I like it. He wants to get back in there, so he's going to save every second that he can. Meanwhile, Coolkid having a very nice quick fight, avoiding some of those boomerangs. That was impressive.
That was a beautiful quick fight. Nice Prizzy Clashman kill. Let's see if he gets Task Wood here.
Yeah, let's see. He didn't go for it in game 1. Let's see if and he does go for it this time.
Nice.
Wow, that is impressive stuff. So, of course, that gets you closer to the exit of the teleporter and saves, what, about a second?
Yeah, it's between half a second and a second.
Oh, man, what an impressive kill on Airman. That is one of the toughest patterns to execute a 2-cycle on, and he just nailed it. Coolkid is on fire right now.
Oh, and he's getting a beautiful heat pattern. Wow.
So, Coolkid, again, he's about in the exact same health situation as he was in game 1, so I highly doubt that we're going to see him picking up any health drop as he avoids all hits on Bubble Man. The next 2 bosses aren't going to hit him.
This is close to gold refights territory for him. I think if he had not failed that first teleporter jump, he could have actually had a real chance for gold here.
And that's saying something, because he's probably got a really good gold.
Yeah, if his gold has not changed since I last saw it, and it's about 2 flat 0.8 or something, which is insanely good.
Yeah, this has been pretty close to 2 minutes, and we can see that we're looking at a 27-0x here, maybe.
Yeah.
So at this point, if you're fastatcc, you're just like, come on, over zip that door 1 time, man. I need it. Hug that alien 1 time, Coolkid. You can do it. Alright, here we go. We've got a zip setup. This zip you don't need to trigger, you just have to get in the right spot, which Coolkid has done. I imagine he's going to stop a little short of the door. And he does. Nice solid wiggles there. Takes a nice safe wiggle to make sure he's in the door. And all he has to do at this point is avoid touching the alien, because the alien will take about 80% of your health.
Meanwhile, Fast is entering the machine.
And Cool Kid with a nice alien so far. He's ready to wrap this thing up and take it in 2 games, and there it is.
2708.
Wow. What can you do, man? I mean, Cool Kid is just playing out of his mind right now. fastatcc, even if he had, put on his best possible game, beating a 2708 is really, really, really hard.
That's a really tall order for Fasta, whose PB is only 6 seconds faster than that. So, just really, really solid stuff from Cool Kid overall. And Fasta also playing well, but just having more mistakes than he probably wanted to have.
Cool Kid saying that he got a sub-2 refights. So
really?
That was indeed a gold.
That's crazy. I think that's the first sub-2 in a run, period.
Yeah, the execution in this race by Cool Kid was really just up there, and he earned this victory today, 2-0. So he is going to move on, and he will face the winner of Endy and Zoda. fastatcc trying to finish off Alien here, takes an errant hit, didn't want that one, but hopefully he can get these last couple shots in. Don't touch the alien. Okay, he's good.
That was close, yeah. All right.
That was a little scary. But good game by both of our competitors here, man. They really brought it today. Rockman 2 is just a brutal game. And, fastatcc, he had a few more unfortunate things happen to him than Cool Kid did. Cool Kid was really on point. So, there you have it.
No doubt.
Let's see if we can get some interviews from these fine gentlemen here. Hopefully we can talk to at least one of them, if not both. All right, Cool Kid has agreed to an interview, so we'll at least...
And I see Fasta joining the Discorder.
Okay. All right, well, let's... Oh! He was in, and then he's gone.
Having such thoughts.
The tease. He doesn't want to hear the hard-hitting questions. Okay, no, he's saying just 1 sec. Don't worry, Fasta. Cassio's not in here, man. He's not gonna give you the hard-hitting questions. But you might though, right? You might give him some tough ones.
Well, I mean,
We'll see.
I'm curious why. I think that using Flash at the end of Heat is a strat that everyone should do in every tournament race, just because it loses like half a second at worst, and it's so much safer. But yeah.
Okay. Well, you're gonna get to ask him about that, presumably, and
I'm gonna ask Cool Kid what happened in Game 1 on the Item 2 zip. I'm gonna put it in his face.
You've been waiting for that. Oh man. Well, yeah, so just in case you guys are wondering, there are more matches, and as you can see, somebody just put the link up there. You can see the challenge there. We do have Nero and Prizzy is going to be, I believe, on Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. I hope I have that right, but that is going to be our next top 8 matchup, and then Zoda and Endy are going to have to schedule there. So we have Cool Kid. We have fastatcc. Good game, guys. I think we're going to start with Fasta. Cypher, I think you had a few questions for our man fastatcc.
Yeah, sure. So first, great play from both of you. Congrats to Cool Kid. Fasta, I think you said previously that if you have, so you didn't go for the flash strat at the end of Heat, but if you happen to take a hit on Heat, you would still do the buffer jumps. And I see that you stuck the course. But
Yeah.
do you have any second thoughts about doing that?
No, it doesn't really matter. I just wasn't playing well today. So, like, if you noticed at the beginning, like, all 4 of my, like, first jump, like, the first 2 were shaky, and I barely got over him, and then I got hit twice. Like, if I switched to Flash, I was going to die in that fight anyway. Like, it was just prolonging the inevitable. Like, I either was going to play well or I wasn't. You know, you're not gonna beat Cool Kid if you're, babying out everywhere.
That's true, yeah. And I guess I don't really have any other questions for Fast I can think of, but it was actually pretty uncanny that you only made like a handful of big mistakes between the 2 races, but they were actually like almost the same mistakes between both races. So Yeah, I don't really have any other questions for Fasta. If you have any, Sinister, you can go ahead.
Well, first of all, yeah, I want to say great job throughout the tournament, man. It's been a pleasure watching you play, and you had some tough luck today. I know you said you felt like you weren't kind of on top of your game, and that happens quite frequently in Rockman 2, as we all know. So I guess what I'm wondering is, are you going to continue with Rockman 2 and get that 26 that we all know you're capable of, or are you kind of feeling like you're done with this game for right now?
I don't know. I've been thinking about that a lot lately, and I'm still kind of torn. Like, basically, I put in a lot of work to get to where I'm at, and I'm pretty happy with my PB. 2702 is pretty hard for me to beat, and I want to move on from this game, but I also do want a 26 at some point, and it's going to be a lot more work to get later than it is now, since I'm like de-rusted on it and been grinding it and all that. But like, I just don't want to be stuck with a forever grind for 26 when I really want to be playing something else right now. So I don't know.
So what is that other thing that you want to be playing?
So next I'm doing Mega Man 6. And then like, I know this summer there's supposedly going to be a 46 Robot Master Tournament, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, it's been since 2015 that I've put some time into Mega Man 6. So like, I really want to get back to that and improve my PB, get it onto the level of some of my other Mega Man PBs.
All right. Well, we'll definitely be looking forward to that. Everybody, make sure you follow fastatcc. He is quite good in all of the Mega Man games on NES. So if you like any of those, he's your man. Thanks again, Fasta. Great job in the tournament.
Yeah, thanks for calling the match. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
You
Fasta.
bet. All right. So moving on to Cool Kid, who again has put the #1. He's showing everybody. So what exactly does that mean, Cool Kid? I don't want to make any interpretations, so I'd like to hear it straight from you.
Oh, sorry.
What does that #1 mean?
It meant like I was 1-0 in the game.
Oh, I see. Okay. See, I had it totally wrong, man. I had it totally wrong. 1-0 in the game. Well, you won. You played great today. I mean, you really didn't make any big mistakes at all. You had a few minor mistakes. How were you feeling throughout the course of your match?
It felt good. I was a little annoyed with my struggles in Wily 1. I just couldn't do the open screen, or like the setup going into it. Just wasn't working. But I usually don't look at the stream, like screen watch, when I do races. But after in the first race, after my see here, going into Wily 4, I did take a look at the stream to just see where I was at, because I felt like I was, I had some, not big mistakes, but a lot of minor mistakes that added up, so which definitely could have put me behind. So, but other than that, I'm happy with my play, especially the refights in the second race. That was cool.
So that was a gold for you.
Yeah, that was gold.
That's excellent. Refight's definitely one of the tougher stages in the entire game. You need some luck to be on your side, and you have to execute quite well, which you did. So yeah, that's amazing that you got a gold refights during the tournament, and then capped it off with, I believe that was a 2707 or 2708 was the final time for your second run.
That was I'm very happy with both my races. But I was got pretty nervous in the second race, like Wily 4. I didn't get in. Well, what happened? I don't even remember what happened in Wily 4 setting up the SIP, but I got in eventually. Got into the boss room. That could have been really bad.
Yeah, you had some extra item 1s there, thankfully, in that where you're able to do that setup a second time and get the zip. But overall, just really solid execution all around. Your next match is going to be against either Zodanor or Andy Swee. Those guys, as far as I can tell, have not really been practicing this game. What are you thinking about going into that matchup?
They better start practicing.
Oh, the truth hits home. I believe we have Zoda and Andy possibly in the chat, so you've heard it straight from Cool Kid. Get ready.
I don't think that's going to have any change on those two guys.
No, they don't care.
No, they don't care.
They're not getting ready. They're just like, okay, Cool Kid wants to get 27OX. Yeah, sure, fine.
We see Fasta giving us a taste of what's to come on his stream.
Oh yeah, he's showing us what's good. Cypher, I believe you had a question, at least one question for Cool Kid. So please go ahead with that.
Yeah, Cool Kid, will you reconsider going for item 2 zip in future races?
Maybe for the finals, for semifinals, I'll do it in semifinals as well. We'll see.
Oh wow, I was expecting a vehement no.
Oh, I mean, I was. I don't really know. I like going for it. I feel like I don't wanna. I wanna change up my game too much, and yeah, I don't know. I think I'll keep going for it. It's really a feel thing. If I feel like if I have a good feeling about my play, like going into the stage, I'm like, I don't know. I make the decision at the start. I haven't even practiced like the item 2. I don't even know how to do it. The item 2 in the first screen, so
yeah,
I'd have to practice it first, but.
Yeah,
if I feel like I'm playing well, like I'll do it.
Well, we both predicted that you would get it first try in Game 2 after these struggles in Game 1, and of course you did not disappoint getting it on first try. So once again, really, really well done, really great job, and we look forward to seeing you in the top 4. That's the next match we're going to see you in, man. So any final thoughts before you leave us?
Well. Just want to thank Speed Gaming for hosting the race, and Sinister for organizing the tournament, and Cypher and Sinister for the commentary. And good game to Fast. I know you're very close to 26 now, and I definitely think you can do it. I can definitely relate to that struggle of wanting to play something different. But man, I hope you stick with it and get it. Really do.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Congrats again. I mean, great times. I don't feel bad about losing to the times you put up. Like even if I played well, I'd probably lose to that. So, yeah, good luck in the rest of the tournament for sure.
All right, thank you both, and make sure you follow both of our runners, Cool Kid and fastatcc. They're both going to be playing some variety of Mega Man games on their streams at a very, very high level. So you want to be sure to check them out, and of course follow Speed Gaming, all the Speed Gaming channels, so you can catch all the great tournament action that's happening here every single day. And that's really going to do it for us today. So once again, thank you all for joining us. It's been a great tournament match, and Cypher, thank you again for joining me on commentary. Any closing thoughts for you, sir?
No, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed commentating with you, and Fasta and Cool Kid are two of my favorite people to watch play this game, so getting to see them race in this tournament setting was a real treat. And I wish Fasta the best of luck. I wish both runners the best of luck in their pursuits in the near future.
Couldn't agree more. Well said. Well said. All right, we're closing it out there, so thanks everybody again for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Take care.